Number 5, he got his power from his father. This is important. I remember when I first got my first loan from the bank. I came out of college in 1980. I had no money. Started working for the government. Got my first paycheck. Walked into the bank, and I said, I got to buy a piece of property, because I'm thinking about my own family now. I got to build my own heritage. And here I am, 1980, young guy, walks into the bank, and the girl at the bank says, I read your application, but you don't qualify. She said, how long you been working? I said, can't you see? That's a dumb question. I just got from college. By the way, you bankers need to check those folks who interview people. Dumbest question I ever seen. And then she said, well, we can't give you a loan because you have no history with that bank. I said, lady, I just got home from college. What do you expect? Dumbest question I ever heard. Anyone heard a question with your hand? Anyone heard a question with your hand? Am I the only one? You might have a question to ask. Don't get your hand. Yeah, it's around there. Strangest question. So anyhow, I got so frustrated with the young lady. I said, let me talk to your manager. She said, you need to talk to him. I'm the loan officer. Excuse me. Can I please see the manager? She said, well, I don't know why you need to see him. He's going to say the same thing. And she picked up the phone and she called him. And he said, come in. I went in. Walked to his office. He stood up. And he smiled. He said, you're Matthias, sir. What's this? My father's name is Matthias. Anyone who knows him well calls him Tias. He said, he was Tias' boy. I said, yes, sir. He said, have a seat. He said, what's your problem? I said, I need a loan to buy a piece of property. He said, so what's the problem? I said, the loan officer is assuming that I cannot afford this. Now, can I handle this? He said, anyway, he works for the government. He said, I know your daddy for the last 40 years, man. What's your problem? You get the loan, okay? I know your daddy. The power of a father's name. Do you give your kids power? Can they use your reputation to make it through life? Or do people say, your daddy? You want him to sign for you? No way. Do you embarrass your children because of your life? He got his power. I like what she said. He said, I came because my father sent me. And he said, and if you believe my father, you believe me, he said. He tied his success to his father's reputation. If you knew my father, he says, you would know me. Is that what you're giving your son and daughter? My daughter said to me the other day, she said, Daddy, when I get married, I still can use my name, Munroe. I said, but no, you can't do that. She said, I don't care. She said, Munroe strong. Everywhere I go all over America, when they say Munroe, they say, are you? She said, yes, I'm Myles Munroe daughter. They say, come right in. She said, I don't want to lose that. So my answer was, make sure the guy you marry got a name as strong as mine. He got his power from his father. Number 6, he got his authority. He said, I came to you in my father's name. My father sent me. And if you knew who my father was, you would listen to my words, he said. Are you giving your children authority? Number 7, he got his legitimacy from his father. His father made him legal. He says, I am here because my father sent me. And because my father sent me, I know who I am. Number 8, he got his destiny from his father. Because I came from my father and I'm going back to my father. His future was in his father. You give your children a destiny that they can go into the family's name and say, this name is living forever. I'm going to keep this name proud and alive. My father today didn't have property to give us, didn't have land to give us, didn't have a house to give us. We didn't get tangible things from our father. But the most important thing our Father gave us was His name. I walk around the country and people say, I know your daddy. And guess what? The Bible says a good son becomes a blessing to his father. My father's been telling me lately some strange thing. My father says, you know, son, everywhere I go, they say, we use Myles Munroe, daddy. It's reversed now. They say, oh, here, I know your son. Can you live in such a way that your kids can use your name to make it through life? The heavy load. He got his family from his father. He said, my father loves me, and I love the Father, and I do the things that please him. He said, if you don't believe me, my Father believes me. You know what? When you go into the world as a son, most of the folks don't believe you. But you okay if your daddy believes. Your family got to back you up. The Father gives you the support when the whole world abandons you. My heart hurts for the single mothers because they don't have this long list. And they got to battle. They got to be father and mother to a daughter. That's why God would bring you into the church like this and say, look, let Pastor Myles adopt your child. Why? If she needs someone to tell her how to live, what to do, who to marry, bring the guy to me. Let me check him out. Why? Because she needs a father to protect her. And I'm telling you now, I have adopted all the young women in this room who have no father. You are now my kids. And if anybody beats you, let me see where they are. Show me where they live. I will kill them and tell God they died. We need protection. And it comes from our Father. And finally, number 10, he got his message from his father. You know, this is important. Do your children repeat what you say? Jesus said, I only say the words my Father tells me to say. Where do you get your language from, sir? Some young men are cursing because they heard their father cursing. Some men talk about sex because they hear their father talking about sex. Some men talk about women because they hear their father talking about women. In other words, some men just do what their father do, but that's the message they got from their father. Some men have sweethearts because their father has sweethearts. What is the message you're giving your son or your daughter? A good father provides the message for his children. Your kids repeat what you say. And you single mothers, be careful of the men that come into your children's life. Because they're looking for a father image. And if a man comes to shack it with you, you're in trouble twice. Because now that kid is confused. You ain't never been to the altar, so they ain't going to no altar. That's the message they got. You can sleep without going to the altar. What are you telling your kids just by your life? Jesus said, I only do what I see my Father do. My goodness, did you hear that? I only do what I see my Father do. He had a mother named Mary. He never said he does what he sees his mother does. That means you single women. The man in your life is who your kids are watching. I was talking to a young man recently. He said, you know, every time I woke up, my mother had another man in the house, a different one. He said, hey, I hate women. He says, why I'm homosexual. He wasn't born that way. He was made that way by what he saw. He saw men abusing his mother. He became angry at his mother, who allowed it. I wonder what's the message you are giving to your children. Everything you do, they watch you. I'm going to say it again. They're not watching the woman. They're watching the man in the woman's life. Or maybe the man. They're watching. They're getting the cues from the male. When you commit adultery, you're not messing up your own family only. You're destroying the kids of the other person you are having adultery with. It's a social problem.